Hey guys, welcome back to Candid Cinema. I know it's been a very, very long time since I've done a live stream. I think the last live stream I did was for last year's Oscars, which was a bit crazy. But happy Oscar nomination day. This morning, this morning was rough. We had some great wins. We had some films and some actors that got in that were surprising, which is always a fun time. But yeah, this morning watching that stream, there are a lot of things that happened that I did not agree with, but I'm going to go through it with you guys today. But yeah, I'm going to get into it right now and I'm going to share my screen with you all. So we're going to start with live action short film. Right now I'm using nextbestpicture.com. I'm a big fan of Matt Neglia, and we've been friends for a while, and his work has been just incredible every single season. So go check him out. And yeah, so you guys can just join me in the comments. I'm going to start with live action short film and really go through it. I think we have Joey in the house. Hey, Joey, thanks for coming in. And we have Leo here from Geekly Goods, who also did a stream last night for predicting who was going to get nominated this morning with Chili Boy Productions. So that was a really good stream to check out. But we're going to break it down here. So let me know in the comments if you agree, if you disagree. Actually, don't tell me if you disagree. I'm kidding. Everything is subjective. So we're going to get through that. I may go off on a rant. Who knows? But I have my Barbie sweatshirt on, and we're going to get the show on the road. So first, we have live action short film. We have The After, Invincible, Night of Fortune, Red, White, and Blue, and then The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. So Wes Anderson did not get in for Asteroid City. And believe me, I was looking at those A's in every single category. Did not show up for my boy, unfortunately. So if Wes Anderson were to ever win an Oscar, it's going to be for The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. So let's fingers crossed for him. Hopefully that ends up happening. I still have to watch that. It is streaming on Netflix right now, and I do have to watch the rest of these. So nice and quick. I don't have any early predictions for it, so we'll see where that goes. Next is, I'm using my iPad to actually go through the nominations at the exact same time. Next, we have Best Documentary Short Film. So we have the ABCs of Book Banning, The Barber of Little Rock, Island in Between, The Last Repair Shop, and Nine and WIPO. This morning, Nine and WIPO got the biggest round of applause. So I'm rooting for them. Again, I still have to go through the documentary short films, but these are the nominations. I'm pretty sure each one is special in their own way. And that's the beauty of the Academy Awards, is that they do highlight everything imaginable. It's on the grandest stage. It's not only about prestige, but it's also about, just helping the smaller independent films, the ones that don't get the recognition. And that's what we have here for Best Documentary Short Film. Next, we have Best Animated Short Film. So we have Letter to a Pig, 95 Senses, Our Uniform, Pachyderm, and War is Over, inspired by the music of John and Yoko. That is an interesting one. All of these, again, I haven't seen, but I will watch them. So moving forward, I have Best Visual Effects. We're gonna get into some stuff now. I'm gonna tell you. So we have The Creator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning, hell yeah, and Napoleon. Listen, when I saw Napoleon pop up here, I was like, "You're joking! Like, you're actually joking." I personally did not like the film. If you enjoyed it, that's fine. I think it's now streaming on Apple TV now, which is great. But, it's Napoleon for Best Visual Effects. Oppenheimer should have been nominated here. Okay. And it wasn't on the short list. And I'm looking at this and I understand that it's practical effects, CGI. I completely get it. But for Oppenheimer of all films to not get nominated here it doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. So early predictions for Best Visual Effects. I would honestly give it to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I think everything that they did was fantastic in that film. Rocket Raccoon with that CGI has never been better. I would love to give it to them. But I also heard that The Creator has great visual effects. I still haven't seen it, but it is streaming on Disney+. So I have to give that a go. And Godzilla -1 sneaked in here, so I was very happy about that. But yeah, I would definitely give it to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 if it's going to be the last time that, we can award that trilogy anything, which is very sad. So next we have Best Sound, another category that really just upset me. So we have the creator again. It showed up again. I'm very, very surprised with this. Maestro makes complete sense. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning has another one, which is amazing for me with my MI7 love. So that's nominated. Oppenheimer, obviously. The Zone of Interest, obviously. So I get that. The two that are not here, okay. Ferrari, which is a racing film. It's not here. I personally thought it was okay. I didn't think it was the best movie. But I do think that for sound, it should have been nominated 100%. And then the biggest one, the biggest snub, because it was just absolutely incredible to sit through, was The Killer by David Fincher on Netflix. I was very fortunate to watch that in a theater, but the sound design in The Killer was some of the best work I've seen in 2023. I don't know how the heck it's not here. It's fantastic. I maybe would have switched out the creator for The Killer. But everything else here deserves the nomination. It's just not that the creator doesn't. I'm just flabbergasted that The Killer wasn't nominated, right? So we have some comments here as well. Leo, am I showing up? Hell yeah. Also, I just noticed that John Wick for nada, goose egg. I don't know how, but it wasn't there either. Now that you just popped up too, I was just like, oh my God, okay, John Wick 4 is not here. And then yeah, Ferrari like completely blanked. So I don't know how that happened. Maybe not enough people watched it. I have no idea. But yeah, Ferrari blanked, which is crazy to me. But next we have, I'll move on from sound. That was my first rant of the night, guys. Okay. So next we have our best original song. I know I'm wearing the Barbie sweatshirt, but here we go. Okay. We have from American Symphony, we have It Never Went Away. I heard great things about American Symphony. Hopefully I get the chance to watch it. We have I'm Just Ken from Barbie. We thought it was a joke at first. We thought the song was a joke at first in this movie. And then it's getting nominated everywhere. It won at the CCAs. It won at the Critics' Choice Awards, but it's okay that it won at the Critics' Choice Awards. Okay, it's fine. It won there. What? Okay, this is here. Then What Was I Made For was nominated from Barbie, from Billie Eilish. We have The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot, which is a big surprise. And again, on the stream this morning, they were cheering for Flamin' Hot. So that makes me happy that it got in. And then we have Wazeze, A Song for My People from Killers of the Flower Moon, which is lovely that it got in. I'm very happy about that. So I'm just completely blown away that I'm Just Ken is here. And let me go to the comments because Tyler, let's go, Diane Warren. Listen. I don't know. Diane Warren is just funny. Every time I say your name, I can't deal with it. It's so hilarious for me. And then we have Barbie Girl is the only real song. That's a nursery rhyme. That, I get that. I do. But going back to I'm Just Ken, now that we have it nominated, if Ryan Gosling doesn't perform at the Oscars, that would just be the most horrible thing to ever happen. Okay, number one, he has to perform it. If we can't get Jack Black singing Peaches at the Oscars, we're going to get Ryan Gosling. Okay, we're going to get Ryan Gosling. So that has to happen. I just think that they could have done something different. I mean, Lenny Kravitz had a beautiful song from Rustin. I don't understand how Lenny Kravitz doesn't get nominated here. But I'm Just Ken is there. It's just, I don't understand it. I don't. Early predictions, and I hope this happens. I hope Billie Eilish wins, but I don't know. With the way that they went today, and the possibility that I'm Just Ken could win because of reasons. They're going to Oscar. That's the only thing that I can say. So next, I'm going to go to original score. And original score is very funny too. It's very funny. So we have American Fiction. I haven't watched it yet. I do plan on watching it. Then we have Killers of the Flower Moon, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Look, John Williams is a bloody legend, but he just reused the score from the first four Indiana Jones movies and kind of changed it a bit. Y'all are voting on nostalgia. You're voting on nostalgia. Okay? Where is Spider Man Across the Spider Verse? Where is it? The movie literally has one of the best scores in the past, 5 years. And the movie works so beautifully with that score and vice versa. Like without the score, the movie doesn't work as it does. And it doesn't like punch you in the gut as it does. So I don't understand how they could do that. I don't understand how you can snub Across the Spider-Verse. I don't get it. And then after that, you have Oppenheimer and you have Poor Things. But the obvious snub, literally, is Across the Spider-Verse. I also loved Reznor and Ross's score for The Killer, but that's just me being a Fincher girly, and they still didn't happen. So I just don't get it. Here we go. Tyler said, as long as John Williams has a pulse, he shall be nominated. Isn't it like his 80th nomination or something? I think that's what ended up happening with John Williams. It's like he's been nominated so many times. I don't understand why you would stick him in there for Dial of Destiny. I don't get it. And Leo's like, oh yeah, Spider-Verse with a big sigh. It's the truth. Like, how do you not nominate Spider-Verse for this? I listened to Metro Boomin every single day. And then on top of that, the score, I was flipping back and forth. Every single thing, the soundtrack, the score, both of them combined is just the most beautiful thing ever for that film. And it elevates it so much. Not here. Not here, guys. So, rant number 2 of the evening. Now we're going to go to best production design. All right. I'm going to go best production design. And Leo also says Academy disrespecting animation. Yeah, nonstop. And I completely agree. I do. I think that, we had such success with Pinocchio, with Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and then it just fizzled. It's like I said, and I'll get into this with Best Picture and a couple other nominees here. It's like they have 1 or 2 years that works, and then they just fumble the ball nonstop. Excuse me. So that's what I don't understand. Next, we have Best Production Design, and it's Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Listen. Sofia Coppola's Priscilla, absolutely snubbed, did terribly this award season. And I just don't understand how Napoleon is bland as hell. And Sir Ridley Scott, with all due respect, sir, okay? You didn't care about the historical accuracy of that film. So anything that is in this production design, I understand the extravagance of it. I completely get it. But Sofia Coppola and her team literally remodeled Graceland. I just don't understand how that's I don't get it. I don't get it. So here for early predictions, I would love to give it to Poor Things. I really want Poor Things to win this, but it could go to Barbie because I completely understand why it would go to Barbie. We have Larry. Hi, Larry. Nimona Hive. I still have to watch it, but I literally am so happy that it got in because you guys have been praising it. Hi, Larry. Make sure to go sub to Chili Boy Productions, to Tyler Calvert, and to Geekly Goods, who also said Napoleon getting in this and wardrobe was goofy. Listen, I don't understand what's happening anymore. I couldn't deal this morning. I was in shock. Sorry, I hit my mic. In shock. But yeah, I was in shock with Napoleon. Every time I was like, Napoleon? Like how? I was so mad. But yeah, early predictions, not early production, but early predictions, I would definitely give this to Poor Things. I thought the production design in each section of that film really complemented the location that they were in. And that comes down to the costume design as well for Bella. So next we're going to get into best makeup and hairstyling, which is also very annoying. It's very annoying. Because Barbie and Priscilla did not make the short list. So both, not so much Barbie, but more so Priscilla. For me anyway, her journey as a character and like as you know as a woman evolving under the hand of like Elvis Presley, the makeup and the hair for her specifically shows her journey and it compliments her. So at first, when she was very shy and timid as a young girl, even Kaylee Spaney went through that transformation, and she couldn't have gone through that transformation into like of womanhood under that careful eye without the hair and makeup. So for that to not get anything is just mind blowing to me. And then Barbie, with all the looks that they did for Barbie, and just I can't. I can't. Just the two that had like more female centric stories did not get nominated for makeup and hairstyling, and it just they did the most work for that, so it just bothered me. Tyler says, "Who all watched Golda though?" Listen, I just heard about Golda today. So maybe I will watch it and we'll see what happens. And maybe the makeup and hairstyling is great. So I know I jumped the gun. I didn't go through it because I had to talk about Priscilla and I had to talk about Barbie here. So the nominees are Golda, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Poor Thing, Society of the Snow. I really loved Maestro. I thought the makeup and the hairstyling for Maestro was extremely well done. You could not tell that it was Bradley Cooper. A lot of people completely hated on the makeup and hairstyling for Maestro. So I guess it depends on how you look at it. And then I think for Oppenheimer, if they are going to do the little sweepy sweep with the broom, I do think that it would go to Oppie for best makeup and hairstyling. But I would love to see Maestro win this. So next we have Best Film Editing. This is a perfect category. This is what we call a perfect category, ladies and gentlemen, okay? This is it. You have Anatomy of a Fall, absolute perfection, procedural, like incredible work. The Holdovers, brilliant. Killers of the Flower Moon, queen of everything, Thelma Schoonmaker gets nominated. Oppenheimer, Jennifer Lame, and then you have Poor Things. This is perfect. If I could give it to anybody, it's going to be Oppenheimer. Okay, Oppenheimer has to win. To have both hearings overlap and coincide and just have this like wealth of information being explored, brilliant work. Just brilliant work for film editing. I loved it so much. So long story short, this is a perfect category. Take a picture. This is what a perfect category is. Next, we have Best Costume Design. Look what else is here. One of these does not belong, okay? One of these does not belong. I do have my good friend Cody Castillo. Hey man, how's it going? Do you feel DiCaprio was snubbed? I'm going to hold on to this comment because I got a lot of things to say about this one. So I'm going to hold on to you, my friend. We're going to get into best costume design, and it's Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon. Okay, take a shot every time I say Napoleon because it's been a lot, guys. Kidding. Don't do that because it's been a lot. And I want you guys to stay around and not fall asleep. So we have Oppenheimer and then Poor Things for costume design. So instead of Napoleon, we could have put Priscilla because it makes so much sense to put Priscilla. The amount of costumes, her wardrobe was brilliant, let alone Priscilla's wardrobe. You had Elvis's wardrobe in this damn movie too. How is it not nominated over Napoleon? That means that nobody watched Priscilla in comparison to the million nominations that Elvis got last year. So I was very upset that Priscilla didn't get any love this award season, and it should have at least had 3 nominations, the ones that I had stated, and that Napoleon wouldn't have had. So that's where I'm at with that one. But costume design, I personally want Poor Things to get it, but I do think that Barbie's going to have the edge on it. But I do think the costumes in Poor Things were just absolutely stunning, and I loved just watching, Bella try different things on because it's just the styles were so different and they were boxy, and I really liked what she was wearing. It was futuristic in a way as well, so I think that they had a lot of fun making costumes for her. So I would definitely go with Poor Things. Next, we have Best Cinematography, which I'm going to scroll up into. We have El Conde, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. Actually, Tyler has a comment here. Hello. It was all of Napoleon's fancy hats. Listen, he only had one fancy hat, and he wore it to the side. He was in the same costume the whole time. I would understand Vanessa Kirby, but also Vanessa Kirby wore the same gown. So I don't know why. I just don't get it. But it is the fancy hats. It is funny how he loved his hat, I have to admit. If you want to watch Napoleon for the jokes, watch Napoleon for the jokes. Do it. Okay. But going back to best cinematography, here, I love that Matthew Libatique got nominated for Maestro. I think there was some incredible work there. I loved it. Again, this is going to go to Hoyt van Hoytema for Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer had the best cinematography of the year. I'm very happy that Rodrigo, oh my goodness, I always butcher his name because I'm rolling the R's. But I think that Rodrigo Prieto for Killers of the Flower Moon got the right nomination, and he didn't get nominated for Barbie. And there's no double nomination here, thankfully. But I'm really happy that he got nominated. There's some great work in there as well. I do have to watch El Conde on Netflix, so that's the next one that I have to see. But all of these deserve to be here. I was really happy with the nominations, but my early prediction is going to Oppenheimer, obviously. But next, we have Best International Feature Film. Guys, please let me know if you agree with any of my thoughts and my hot takes here in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you guys checking out this stream. And we have Larry in the chat. Not Amanda rolling them R's. Listen, I gotta do it. I gotta respect it. I gotta try my best here. But yes, I have to roll the R's. Next, we have Best International Feature Film. And if France was smart, they would have selected Anatomy of a Fall to be here, but they did not. And then Anatomy of a Fall got nominated anyways, so that's hilarious. But here we have Il Capitano, Italy representing here, which I still have to see. We have Perfect Days. Society of the Snow is traumatizing. Listen, that movie, whether you get on a plane 5 months from now or you just got off of one, that movie, I've never seen a plane crash like that in my life. In Society of the Snow, and that really got me, which is now streaming on Netflix, so check that out. We have The Teacher's Lounge nominated, and we have The Zone of Interest, also very powerful movie, The Zone of Interest. So I really like this batch, but as Larry says here, France looking like an entire fool. I agree. I agree. And Larry continues with this comment saying the taste of things didn't even get in as compensation to make France feel better about their mistakes. Listen, it's karma. It's karma at this point. So it just really sucks for them because Anatomy did what they came to do and just get all of these nominations despite not being France's pick for international. And then Tyler says, if only Japan had picked Godzilla -1. Yeah, I still have to watch it, and I heard great things, and I think that it's going to be back in theaters in black and white from what I've heard, so maybe that'll be my opportunity to check it out because everyone's been raving about it. So yeah, that would have been an option. But yeah, I really like this international category. It's pretty great, except for the France mistake. Sorry, the French mistake. Haha, I did that. But yes, that's that. And I would probably pick The Zone of Interest as a lock for this category, but that's early predictions. I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was great. Very well done. The last, I'd say 10, 15 minutes really stay with you. It's really hard to watch the last 10, 15, but it hits you right here in the heart. But it's very well done. Next, we have Best Documentary Feature. We have Bobby Wine, The People's President. The Eternal Memory is fantastic. I watched it at Sundance. Four Daughters, To Kill a Tiger, and 20 Days in Mariupol. All of these have been great. I've heard such great things about each of them. The Eternal Memory is really powerful, and I liked it a lot. My heart beats for Still, a Michael J. Fox movie. I really loved watching that at Sundance, and I was hoping that it would get nominated here just for MJF because I adore Michael J. Fox with every fiber of my being, but unfortunately he didn't make it in here. I do think that 20 Days in Mariupol will probably win given the precursors and everything that's been said. At film festivals and at other critic circles, it's been a front runner compared to the other ones. So that's a possibility. Again, I have to watch these. So next I have best animated feature. Oh, this one. Okay, I'm just yeah. We have The Boy and the Heron, we have Elemental, we have Nimona, who I have the campaign manager, Chili Boy Productions, in the comments for Nimona. I just want you to know that we have the campaign manager here present. All right. We have Robot Dreams, and then we have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Where is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem? Say that 5 times fast. Where is Mutant Mayhem? Where? Okay, I would have plucked Elemental, adios, and then put Mutant Mayhem in there because that animation was fantastic. It's such a fun movie. It's also heartfelt, and you have these young kids voicing these turtles for once, and I thought that was a lot of fun. So I loved Mutant Mayhem. I was very surprised about it. There's also no Super Mario Brothers, even though it freaking beat up that box office. Um, I understand why, but like I love Illumination so much. I think their animation's stunning. It is stunning work, but obviously the story is not the greatest for Super Mario Brothers. Um, so yeah, we have the campaign manager here, but Larry agrees out with Elemental and in with Mutant Mayhem. It should have happened. It should have happened. Everyone's been talking about Mutant Mayhem. I know it was a bit later in the year, but still, it's like, oh my God, Elemental did well with the second push at the box office because it was word of mouth, but it's not, I don't know. I just think that the animation was 10 times better in Mutant Mayhem than it was in Elemental. And this is what we got. This is what we got. But Wish, which Disney was really pushing because of their anniversary year, didn't make the cut, which is kind of it's sad. It's so sad considering what the movie's about, but it's not here. It's not here. And then Tyler says, I mama'd my last Mia, not saying a Super Mario Brothers, my Italian hearts, my Italian plumbers. I was so sad that they didn't make it. Mostly because I wanted Jack Black to get in for Peaches. That's it. It's just for Jack Black mainly that, if it was nominated here, it could have been nominated for song. But sadly did not happen. So it didn't. Chicken Run got fried. Nice one, Tyler. That was another one. It was a sequel. Yeah, that was supposed to get nominated. Didn't either. It was here in the lineup. And then Disney dropped Nimona and it went and got nominated over Wish. That's the tea. That's the tea. See what happens when you don't go with something different and fresh, and then Nimona happens. And oh God. Well, yeah, they fumbled. They're going to come back stronger next year, though. Well, this year, 2024. I have a feeling that Disney's going to come back on top somehow. But here for Best Animated Feature, I would love Across the Spider-Verse to win. I do understand that it is a part one. So people are going to use the excuse that it's not a completed film. And that's why that The Boy and the Heron could possibly pull out the win here. I haven't seen The Boy and the Heron. Everyone loves it from what I've heard. I do need to watch it. But Boy and the Heron did win some precursors. So I don't know how that's going to end up. All I've been hearing is that Across the Spider-Verse is not a full movie, which is very unfortunate. But I still would give it to Spider-Verse because it's just fantastic. Next, I have Best Original Screenplay. We're gonna get into it now. Okay, original I'm happy with. I lied. It's adapted that I don't like. So for original screenplay, what is here, Tyler? I have no beef. Hey yo, hey. I have no beef. I want to clarify with this comment. I have no beef. I do not. Okay. For best original screenplay, I have Anatomy of a Fall. I'm not joking. When I heard this on the stream this morning, I was jumping up and down while putting my makeup on before work. Like that's how excited I was that I saw Anatomy of a Fall. My liner is still perfect, just so you know that no smudges happened, but I was jumping up and down. Then we have The Holdovers. We have Maestro, May, December. Sure, that was a sneak. And then we have Past Lives. I'm very happy Past Lives is here. I'm ecstatic that Past Lives is here. It deserved more. Past Lives deserve more. What are you doing just giving it original screenplay and then nominating for Best Picture and there's nothing else? It also got snubbed for score. I forgot to mention it, but it's the truth. So that's here. Out of original screenplay, if it does not go to Anatomy of a Fall, we have failed them. We have failed this film if it does not go to Anatomy of a Fall. I have a feeling it's going to go to The Holdovers, which I wouldn't be like entirely upset about because I love that script. But again, what is done in Anatomy of a Fall, the execution of it, which comes down to the lovely Justine Triet, the director of Anatomy of a Fall, I personally think that it needs to go to them for the way that this was written. It's very ambiguous, and you're seeing both sides in that courtroom. You don't ultimately know if the wife did do it, if Sandra Hilaire did do it, or if she didn't do it. And I think that that's what's so brilliant, is that the audience is still second guessing even long after they've watched it. So I love that script so much. Larry says Past Lives has the same amount of nominations as Naiad. Naiad's not a real movie. We're going to pretend that Naiad's not in the conversation. I can't stomach that. I'm sorry, I can't, because it goes back, I think, to the the conversation or the comparison that The Irishman has the same amount of wins as the Suicide Squad, and that just doesn't sit well with me either. So Naiad's not here, and it just makes me really sad because Past Lives deserves way more than what it got. So next we have, this is the one, we have Best Adapted Screenplay. And we have American Fiction, which is fine. We have, I'm going to skip Barbie. We have Oppenheimer. We have Poor Things. We have The Zone of Interest. What's missing from this category? We do not have Killers of the Flower Moon nominated here. And if it deserves to win, let alone be nominated for any category here, it had to have been adapted screenplay. I read David Grant's book. I think the adaptation is absolutely perfection. This film did it so well. It was just perfect, because I normally don't read the book before I watch the movie. And I've been doing that now with Maud's Book Club. And I've just been really happy. It's been really fulfilling to read these books before these films come out or before these shows come out. And I'm so happy I read David Grant's book because of the way that it was structured. And I think that Marty did that incredibly well with Eric Roth. I just loved everything that they did. It made complete sense. And with the way that they adapted it, just because you slowly know who it is as they're uncovering it. And you have this travesty there that is just deeply rooted in like the beginning of settling in America. And I think it's just so devastating. And the way that everything unfolds with Ernest and with, his uncle, it's just so hard to watch. But the way Grant does it is that it's factual, and then he creates this emotional element with Molly and her family. And I think that the way that it unfolds is just absolute perfection, and they got that from the book as well. So I think they adapted it quite well. Here we have Caitlin. Hi, Caitlin. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming into the comments. And then we have Tyler. We have Barbie booted Marty out of adapted. I'm upset. Let's just say, because, and I'm going to talk about Barbie after Larry's comment right here. If only the Academy let Barbie stay in original, then Killers would have made it. I agree with. I don't know why they did the switcheroo, especially if you're knocking Killers of the Flower Moon out of here. I don't get it. But here's the thing with Barbie. As much as I enjoy it, as much as I'm here to say that I love Margot Robbie, I love Greta Gerwig, I love women, and I love supporting women and female filmmakers, I think that the weakest part of that film is the script. And that's what it got nominated for. Maybe it has to do with the fact that Noah Baumbach literally co-wrote it. I don't know. But I think it's the weakest part of the movie. And I think I had more issues with the script than like anything else that was happening. So it's just very funny that Greta gets in here, and then we're going to talk about what happened afterwards. But I just cannot fathom that Barbie got in over Killers of the Flower Moon. I can't, I don't understand. So here, a lot of people are claiming that Barbie's going to win adapted screenplay. Not with Oppenheimer. They're my friends. I'm determined. Okay, not with Oppenheimer there. And certainly not with Poor Things there. So those two, and even American Fiction, okay? I would take those three over Barbie. I really cannot see Barbie winning screenplay. And if it does, it's going to be based on that monologue alone that won people over. And I hate that I'm saying this because I really I enjoyed the film. I cried. It's emotional, it's beautiful, but every single Ken scene is what took away from Barbie, and it just got messy in that third act and what it was trying to say. And that was why I didn't think the script was all that great. So early predictions for me, I would definitely take Poor Things or Oppenheimer and maybe American Fiction over Barbie. I can't see it winning here for screenplay as much as I had fun with it. Caitlin says, yeah, 100% agree with you on the Barbie screenplay. Yeah, I hope that people agree with me on the screenplay because that is just the weakest element of the film, unfortunately. So yeah, thanks for saying that, Caitlin. You're bending with me here. Next, we have Best Supporting Actor. I was very happy with this morning, I have to say. A couple of things I will mention afterwards, but I was very happy with this five. We have Sterling K. Brown from American Fiction. We have Robert De Niro from Killers of the Flower Moon. It is one of his best performances, I have to admit. But people are saying it's his best performance in a decade. And I'm like, did y'all not watch The Irishman? He got snubbed for The Irishman, so I think they're making it back with Killers of the Flower Moon. But yeah, he's been doing great in his like later career. I'm really happy about that. And then we have Robert Downey Jr. for Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie. He's there. And Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things. I love this five. I understand why they had to nominate Ryan Gosling because guess what? Ryan Gosling was the best part of Barbie for me personally. I thought he was hysterical. He was perfect. But yeah, with this, hands down, the second I walked out of Oppenheimer in July, I was like, it's Rob's. I'm like, it's Robert Downey Jr.'s 100%. I was just beaming, so excited. I'm like, I get to go on an Oscar run with our DJ. Like, I was just so happy for him. And I really do think that that's what we're going to get here. I do think he's a lock. I kind of knew that Charles Melton wasn't going to get the nom for May December. I understand that people are very upset. I would be upset too because you were trying to put a spotlight on him. I knew they weren't going to do it. The same way I knew that Dominic Sessa wasn't going to make it either from the holdovers. But this is the five that makes the most sense. It really does. And sometimes the Oscars surprise us, and other times they do not. But it's really nice to see Sterling K. Brown here, 100%. And Larry agrees with me. Hell yeah. I know you have a picture with him too, Larry. It was great. But then Cody Castillo says, I hope our DJ wins. He really deserves it. I agree. I personally think he deserved it for Chaplin all those years ago, but he was still, in his early stages. So this is a perfect win for him, I think. Caitlin, let's get our DJ his Oscar. A lot of love for our DJ. I'm loving this. Thanks, guys. Ken said, hey, man. How's it going? It's the Manda Show. Yes, I can't call it the Manda Show for copyright reasons. But yeah, that's pretty much what plays in my mind. And then Cody says, great to see Sterling K. Brown there. Everyone's so happy. I love this. I was so excited to see Sterling get in. Yes, Larry, like he is so freaking talented. So I'm very happy. And I can't wait to watch him in American Fiction. It was great to see his name there. And Tyler's very upset and saying, I will avenge you, Dominic Sessa. I know. He has a long way to go. He does. And he won newcomer for CCAs, so like a young actor at the Critics' Choice Awards. So I think he has a long way to go, and it's going to be great for him. He's going to have a very long career. Fingers crossed that his agent knows what he's doing. So I loved him in The Holdovers. And if you haven't watched The Holdovers, please watch The Holdovers with Dominic Sessa. And make sure you watch American Fiction, because I will be definitely watching it very soon. Next, we have Best Supporting Actress. All right. Okay. This is a hard category because we have Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer. We have Danielle Brooks in The Color Purple. America Ferrera and Barbie. We have Jodie Foster in Nyad. And we have Divine Joy Randolph in The Holdovers. She's a lock. My girl's a lock. Divine Joy Randolph, lock. She's won all the precursors. She's going to win. And she has looked absolutely stunning this award season. So I'm very, very excited for her. Jodie Foster saved Nyad. I watched it so you don't have to. Okay, Jodie Foster saved Nyad. I understand 150% why she got nominated, because she saved that bloody movie. She did. She was so fun. I missed her on screen, and I don't think I would have ever said that, to be honest. America Ferrera is here for Barbie. People are going to hate on me for saying it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I personally didn't really love Ferrari, but Penelope Cruz gave one of my favorite performances in 2023. So I really would have loved to have seen her here. I understand Danielle Brooks being here. I understand Emily Blunt being here. Even Rachel McAdams for Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. I would have loved to have seen her in this for sure, but I don't understand the America Ferrera nomination. I'm very sorry. I don't get it. Um, and it's a very tough category, but as Larry said here, supporting actor and actress are locks, 100%. RDJ and Divine Joy Randolph have literally carried this award season on their back, and they have literally won everything. So it makes complete sense as to them being locks. So I completely agree. Early predictions locked for sure. It's going to be the two of them. Next, we have Best Actor. And this is where I'm going to get into Cody's. Let me see if I can find his comment here. Perfect. Do you feel DiCaprio was snubbed? Let's get into this, okay? Because we have Bradley Cooper for Maestro. We have Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers. We have Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. So to answer you, I am very happy Leonardo DiCaprio didn't get nominated. He also did not campaign whatsoever to kind of boost Lily Gladstone here, and I'm really happy that he did that. I also don't think that it's his strongest performance. People said walking out of Killers of the Flower Moon, oh, it's top 10. I disagree. I disagree that it's top 10 performances, top 5 performances for DiCaprio. He's always great. He always gives 110%, but I just don't think that it's his best. So it makes complete sense as to why he wasn't nominated here. I don't technically think it's a snub because he didn't campaign whatsoever. And once he missed the SAG nomination, that's when I knew that like they're not even considering him whatsoever. So Caitlin says, I don't get the Barbie nominations. They're the wrong categories. Wrong categories, yes. I think for production design, I think for song, I think for makeup and hairstyling, which it did not get nominated for, it should have been there. I do think that for a couple of categories, it should have been nominated, but I agree, it's just, it overperformed. And I hate saying that because I'm like decked out in pink with a Barbie sweatshirt on. And like, it's just, for some reason, you can love the movie, but also recognize that for some nominations, it shouldn't have been there. So that's just me with Barbie. And then Larry says, I was so hyped with actor. Sorry, Leo, I'm glad he wasn't in it. Listen, I was hoping that Robert De Niro wasn't going to get in because I liked him a lot in it, but I also think that there were stronger performances for supporting as well. So I think that like I was so keen on like, okay, Leo's not going to get nominated. So maybe Zac Efron can get in for the Iron Claw. And people are calling that a snub. And I'm like, it's technically not a snub because that movie came out way too late in the year. Even Andrew Scott, For All of Us Strangers, like he was so fantastic in that. That movie made me cry. As an only child, watching All of Us Strangers, I bawled my eyes out. It was absolutely fantastic work from everyone involved, like Andrew Haig and Andrew Scott and Jamie Bell, Claire Foy, Paul Mescal. They all gave a great performance. And they did well. So if you haven't watched All of Us Strangers, Andrew Scott also deserved to be here. I'm very happy Coleman Domingo got in here for Rustin. As much I wasn't really keen on the film, but I really loved his performance. I did. But yeah, out of all of this, I just, like I said, it wasn't Leo's, but I would love to have seen Zac Efron in the Iron Claw. It just came out too late. That's it. And it breaks my heart because that movie is like fantastic. And if you haven't watched it, bring a box of tissues, go with your whole family. It's not a family friendly movie by all means, because you're just going to sob controllably. But it's just one of the best films of 2023. One of the best performances from Zac Efron and Harris Dickinson and Jeremy Allen White. They were all so good in that. But it's not a snub if it came out too late. And I think people are misunderstanding the word snub. And I'm going to get into that later on as well. just to catch up on some comments again, thank you guys so much for watching this stream and commenting with me and just, letting me hear all your thoughts too. It's been great. Thank you for agreeing with me too. Most of the time. Appreciate it. So rooting for Cillian Murphy, Cody Castillo. I really do hope that happens. But again, he's a first-time nominee and Paul Giamatti's owed. So that's where we're sitting right now. And it's been split down the middle too for precursors. Tyler says the Academy loves inviting Bradley just to cause him pain. Yes. And he's going to be in so much pain because he's not even the one that Cillian Murphy's going up against now. It's Paul Giamatti, which is absolutely hilarious to me. And I hate this for B. Coops because I thought he was great in Maestro. Direction and acting. Like, I thought he was fantastic. So it just sucks. Larry says, lead actor was really stacked this year for me. Zach and Andrew Scott both deserved it. I completely agree. I think we should have extended the category. Can that be done? If there's 10 Best Picture nominees, can we just like extend the acting categories? It only makes sense. It only makes sense here. Cody says, I think Best Actors between Paul Giamatti and Cillian. 100% agree. Joey says, yeah, totally get it. It was too late, but Iron Claw not getting in is probably my biggest disappointment this award season. And then Joey says, but I'm also a huge wrestling fan, so I'm a bit biased. No, I get you. I think the wrestling fans were going to fight hard. Like, they were going to fight really hard for the Von Erichs. I went into that movie blind. I had no idea what this thing was about. I had no idea about the Von Erichs. And now I wish that like I read something because I have never cried that much at a 10 a.m. screening in my life. I was weeping, like literally weeping. And I think the best part of the Iron Claw is that it tells you what's about to happen, but you just don't anticipate any of it happening to the family. And I think that's why it was just structured so well and it was executed so well. And the final scene with Zac Efron is just, the line has stayed in my head, and I won't spoil it for you because it's just such a powerful moment on screen. So please, please, please watch The Iron Claw when you have time. Joey also said, oh yeah, the story is rough. You should watch their episode of Dark Side of the Ring. Here, more recommendations on the stream right now. So definitely check that out because I really want to. But yes, it's going to be between Paul Giamatti and Cillian Murphy. I don't know who I'm going to pick. I'm going to be honest. It's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard. But I have a feeling I'm leaning more towards Giamatti. If Oppenheimer, here's the thing. If Oppenheimer gets the broom out and they start sweeping, they have to give it to Cillian Murphy. But if it doesn't sweep, then I could kind of see the holdovers like breaking in. If it's like starts splitting, that like Poor Things wins and then Barbie that starts spreading the wealth, then I can kind of see it. But if it sweeps and Cillian Murphy doesn't win, we're going to go off. That's all I can say. We're going to go off if that ends up happening. Tyler says, is the Iron Claw man his gateway into watching more wrestling? Maybe, because I think Netflix just made a deal with WWE and they're going to be streaming some of their stuff. But when I was a kid, it was like 8 or 9. My uncle used to watch like Monday Night Raw and I was there with him watching it. Probably shouldn't have been watching it at that age, but he let me watch it. So I was watching wrestling with him, but I haven't really gone back to it. But I remember like the OGs basically being on there. I don't know if they're still there, but maybe I'll get into wrestling again. Who knows? But going into Best Actress, we don't have a problem here. But everyone's making a problem. Okay, there is one problem because it starts with an A. And when I saw her name, I started cackling this morning. Annette Bening got nominated for Naiad. When I mean that Jodie Foster was the best part, she was the best part because Annette Bening's performance was not good. I don't know how she got in here. I don't know. I'm happy to see Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon. Ecstatic for Sandra Huller to get nominated for Anatomy of a Fall. She's my Best Actress winner. And here's the thing. I still think Lily Gladstone should have been in supporting actress. I'm very happy she's there for Best Actress because that gives her like even more of a chance to win 100%. But I still see her as a supporting actress. And the switch has kind of made me like second guess certain things. I think her performance is one of the best of 2023. Don't get me wrong. But it's just the category. I love Sandra Huller's performance in Anatomy of a Fall. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. We have Carey Mulligan in Maestro, who's also phenomenal. And we have Emma Stone in Poor Things. So do I have any other notes? Oh yes, I would have put Fantasia over Annette Bening because the color purple. Where's the color purple? Where is it? Did it just disappear all of a sudden? I don't understand where the color purple is. I still have not seen it. I know that I'm talking based on what everyone else is saying, but the fact that it got nominated so many other award shows, and you have Danielle Brooks nominated here, you put Annette Bening and Jodie Foster as a tandem, but you don't put Danielle Brooks and Fantasia as a tandem? Why? What is the problem there? I need to know this because I don't think that Naiad should be in the conversation. I'm sorry. I really don't think they should be in the conversation. It's based on names at that point, and I don't like it. Um we have some comments here. We have silly nomination, Annette Bening, 100%. Annette over Greta Lee and this is the other one. So everyone's getting pissed off at and I was gonna mention Margot Robbie right here. No Margot Robbie. And then it goes, I expected Margot Robbie, and like everyone's looking at Margot Robbie, and I'm with all of you. I get it. I think that she has been snubbed way too many times. I mean, I think she should have won for I, Tonya, because I love her in that role. Babylon, she got snubbed. Here, she got snubbed. But as you mentioned, and I'm going to bring up Leo's comment here, you have Annette Bening here, who should have been replaced by Greta Lee and Fantasia. I think that Margot Robbie had the weakest performance out of this category of actresses. I would have put Greta Lee ahead of Margot Robbie. I would have put, Fantasia over Margot Robbie. I just didn't watch Barbie. And yes, I remembered Margot Robbie was Barbie, but I walked away with Ryan Gosling in mind. I walked away with the fact that the movie as a whole was fun. I didn't walk away saying that Margot delivered one of the best performances of the year. And that's just me. I understand that Barbie's been nominated across the board. I totally get it, but I think it was one of her weakest performances. And that I'm a massive Margot Robbie fan, but it really was. And that breaks my heart. So do I understand her not getting in? Kind of. But I understand the outrage as well because she's freaking Barbie. But there's Best Actress was stacked and it was really hard. I knew I was going to get that from Larry. I knew that I was going to get that from Larry. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. That's my opinion. I am sorry, Larry. And then Tyler says, I hear Amanda is predicting Dakota Johnson being nominated for Best Actress next year for Madam Web. Now we're going too far. Now we're going way too far, Tyler. That won't happen. But you will hear me possibly loving Madam Web. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Leo says, I just don't know how you nominate America and Ryan Margot. Here is the thing. Again, it's that chain reaction where if no one was nominated from Barbie, I would have been okay with it. I would have been okay with it. But not nominating Margot Robbie and then you nominate Ferrera and Ryan Gosling, that's just the absurdity. So if we're looking at the string of nominations for Barbie, this doesn't make sense. The Margot snub doesn't make sense. But if we're looking at it for the Best Actress category just as the Best Actress category, then I understand why Margot Robbie did not get nominated. So I'm looking at it from both sides, but the reason that Leo just stated, obviously, I just don't understand that. And then Leo says, take out old Emily Blunt and nominate somebody else. Also true, because I thought she was fine in Oppenheimer. I thought she was okay. But I just, there's a lot of things here. There is. And then Kaylin says, sure, Robbie might not have won, but it's contradictory that she doesn't get the nomination for Barbie. Here's the other thing that people are saying. You nominate Ken, you nominate Ryan Gosling, and you don't nominate Margot Robbie as Barbie. That's the other thing. And I get it. I would have preferred no acting nominations for Barbie. I'm going to be honest with you. I would have preferred that because if you have Gosling and then you don't have Margot, this is the pandemonium that it causes. This is what it causes. So they really fumbled the ball here for actress, and they fumbled the ball in supporting and in supporting actors. So I don't understand how you could do this. And Leo goes, love you, Emily, but she was fine. She was okay. She was okay. But yeah, I don't want Larry to be mad at me. He threw a tomato. It's the first tomato of the night. I'll take it. It's the first tomato of the night, so it's fine. And we got this far, Larry. So it's okay. I forgive you. I forgive you, and I hope you forgive me. So next we're gonna go to best director. Guys, ready for this one? You ready for this one? Okay. We have Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, and Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall. One woman got nominated, and it wasn't the woman who directed the $1 billion movie. Okay, that's where we are. You can't even get nominated in Best Director after making a $1 billion film. Greta Gerwig, I'm sorry. And we also, apparently so, we cannot have more than one woman, Celine Song, nominated for Best Director at a time. Technically, we should have had Greta Gerwig, Celine Song, and Justine Triet nominated. Okay? This is what we should have had. We should have had it. We didn't have it. James Cameron made Avatar The Way of Water, made that money, and got nominated for a mediocre rehash of the first film that he made in 2009 with Avatar The Way of Water. That sequel was bad, and James Cameron still made it in. Because why? He's James Cameron. Greta Gerwig is here, fam. She's here to stay. She's been nominated constantly. Constantly. Okay? If anything, she deserved Best Director over the screenplay nomination because at least the direction was hers alone. She got nominated with her husband. Remember that. Remember that. Okay? So when I started laughing and everyone got mad, everyone's like this. Me, I started laughing because the Oscars are gonna Oscar, and this is a prime example of how they're gonna Oscar. Okay. I think it was last year. We had 5 women direct some of the best films. Okay. Gina Prince Bywood for The Woman King. Hello. Hello. Okay. Maria Schrader for She Said. Okay. Sarah Polley for Women Talking. I'm listing them. Okay. You had women and a couple other ones. Okay. Like Till was phenomenal. And I thought the direction of that was great. And we did not have any of them get nominated for Best Director. I understand you have Nolan. I get it. He's a lock. He's going to win. I understand. Martin Scorsese is there. I understand. You could have maybe just not nominated Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest because I thought the movie was fine. I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand this. And I'm going to go into the comments because there's so many here. Hang on. Thank you for laughing at Larry at what I said before. I appreciate it. Nolan's locked for Cody. I completely agree. No one's touching him right now. No one's touching him at all. Kent says, jokes on them. You're Italian. You love those tomatoes. Facts. I'll make sauce. I will make sauce, Larry, if you keep throwing that at me. I will. And then I'll make pasta and then I'll deliver it to you. It's fine. It works out. Just big family. It's all. Blow up the best director list, Tyler. If I could, I would. I'm not gonna lie to you. No Greta in actress, I'm assuming. No Greta Lee. Yeah, I know. I know, fam. I know. Oh, sorry. And Greta Gerwig. Sorry. Yeah, I'm still. Yeah, Greta Gerwig's not there. I know. And then Larry's like, thank God Justine at least snuck in because I really thought they were going to go all male again. I wouldn't have been surprised. Literally, I wouldn't have been surprised. I'm surprised they did not put Alexander Payne here for the holdovers. Truly. Thank God they didn't. And Justine just knocked in there. And this, again, is a big slap in the face to France. So that's great. That was great for them. Every category should have like 6 to 8 nominees. Caitlin, when it comes to acting categories, especially with 10 Best Picture nominations, I completely agree. I think they need to change the rules here. I really do. Manda is preaching now. I got you, Leo. I got you. I do. Because we've been talking about this all day. I had to go off. Tyler says, leave James Cameron out of this, Manda. No, I will not. I know he's king of the sea, okay? But he has to make better movies than Avatar: The Way of Water. I'm sorry, you spent 13 years making that film. You get nominated for Best Director? Just okay, sure, why not? I disagree. I'm sorry. Then we have, I think it's Nolan's award to lose. I agree. Nolan is a lock. The Oppen homies are all around, guys. We love Nolan. We need this to happen. I'm probably going to cry. I'm not going to lie. These patterns are abhorrent. I agree. I do. And it just gets so frustrating because there are more female directors coming out and they're making these brilliant films. And this is supposed to be the Oscars are supposed to be awarding the best in like of the year. And then sometimes they don't do that. And that's what's so incredibly frustrating because I could list off so many films that could have taken the place of other ones that shouldn't have been there. And that's what bothers me. And that's what bothers so many of us. And it's because we love this industry and we love everything and we want them to be awarded properly. And it's just so sad that it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And like I said, I'm going to get into the best picture category. Every other year doesn't make sense. Okay. Johnny Glaze can go. Listen, I read this as Johnny Blaze, so I've made it fun in my head for that one. And then Tyler says, "Don't worry, James Cameron will be back on the list for Avatar 3 in what, another 20 years?" I'm going to clock this in another 20 years, guaranteed. Guaranteed. It's recorded. James Cameron will get nominated again for Best Director for nothing. For nothing. And then it goes, "Thank God Alexander Payne ain't on the list." I agree. That would have just been bad. That would have been so bad. And then Larry says, "Having 10 Best Picture nominees, only 5 director always leaves a weird amount." I agree. So maybe if it is 6 to 8 and it's not like a full 10, because then every Best Picture nominee would have to link up with the Best Director, and there's not that much left for variety. So I do think if it's 6 to 8, it would have been a bit better. But they do have to change it. They do. And Tyler says, "Don't be mad, James Cameron laps Marty at that box. Don't you dare. Don't you dare bring up box office and Martin Scorsese. Don't you dare. Don't you do it, Tyler." But I'm going to move on to Best Picture because we're almost at the end of this. We're clocking in at an hour. Thank you guys so much for staying with me and watching and commenting. I really appreciate it. So we have American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. Past Lives made it in with just a screenplay nomination. So for some reason, some of these don't have to be there. Like I wouldn't have nominated Maestro for Best Picture, but I guess it's going to go there. I get it. I get why. I feel like they nominated Past Lives here to make up for the fact that they didn't nominate it in other categories. But The Zone of Interest here, again, we have an international film nominated for Best Picture, but I'm just happy like Anatomy of a Fall is here considering what had happened. Long story short, this is Oppenheimer's to lose. I think because Killers of the Flower Moon missed adapted screenplay because of Barbie, that is going to ultimately hurt it. I don't think that Killers of the Flower Moon is going to get Best Picture. I don't think that Oppenheimer has to worry here. I really don't think so. People are saying that The Holdovers is going to pull out in front, and I just disagree with that entirely. I don't think that The Holdovers should win Best Picture. I think Oppenheimer is a perfect movie, and everyone has been talking about it as a box office success. It has won many precursors. So I'm just hoping that it sweeps because we haven't had like a grand epic like this where everyone loves this film. We haven't had something like this sweep every single category. So I'm really hoping it does. And I think Nolan just deserves all of it because he finally made something that the Academy loves him for. And it's so sad, but it's true. Like, give it to him. It's his time. It's his time. It's a perfect film. Cody says Best Picture for it's going to be Oppenheimer. And Caitlin either wants Poor Things or Oppenheimer. I think I agree. Poor Things could pull ahead. It depends again on the other categories that they win. So we'll see Oscar night how that happens. It sucks because when you make your predictions and you lock in your ballot, I usually make 3 ballots. and it's hilarious. So I make one that I know the Academy is going to align with. I make my personal favorite that I want to win, and then I make like a BS one that like, what if this happens? And then it's just weird, kind of cross referencing all of them. So I do three ballots. And I advise you all to do the three ballots because it's just very funny to see the outcome. Larry says past lives pulled a woman talking with those two nominations only. That is very true. That is true. I was thinking, I'm like, what does it remind me of? And you are so right that it was women talking, which upset me, which I had discussed too, because Sarah Polly missed director as well. Holdovers might sneak up. I can see it. I can see it happening. But if the holdovers wins for screenplay, that's going to be interesting. It'll be very interesting if it wins for a screenplay. Caitlin says, so Oppenheimer, Best Picture, Actor, Supporting Actor, Director. Yeah. 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 That's what's going to end up happening. Unfortunately, there is no best actress there, and that's why Lily Gladstone can come in 100%. But if the Academy loves Anatomy of a Fall as much as I do, then Lily may be in trouble. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know how much they loved Poor Things, so it could go to Emma as well. I just think that Emma Stone is too young to win her second Oscar right now, even though this should have been her first Oscar instead of La La Land, but that's a hot take, which you now have recorded. Tyler says, I just need Nolan to call out David Zaslav when he accepts it. Tyler, you know that won't happen. That won't happen. That's just wild, but that won't happen. I meant holdovers for picture. Yeah, holdovers per picture would. I completely get where you're coming from. It could pull up in front, but I'm saying if it wins for screenplay, then that will kind of project where it's going to go for best picture. So that, yeah, that's going to be weird. A weird turn of events for sure. Larry says, I actually think Poor Things could have taken over the number 2 since it got the coveted picture, director, screenplay edit. I agree. So right now, I would say Oscar-wise, like the Academy-wise, it's Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Holdovers. And then that's the 3 right now moving forward. I think that Barbie overperformed in nominations, but I do not think it will overperform on that night. I do think that Poor Things is just going to overpower like the production design and the costumes and like stuff like that. I think it's going to take it over from Barbie because they love Yorgos Lanthimos, as you can see. And then Larry says, but I think Poor Things will be too divisive for the preferential ballot to win Best Picture. That too. I don't, yeah, I can see that as well. It's just, it's Oppenheimer's the safe bet. I always say there's a dark horse and then there's a safe bet. And then Oppenheimer's the safe bet when now Poor Things is the dark horse this award season that can come out of nowhere. Because also a lot of people haven't seen Poor Things, like the general audience hasn't seen it. So they're probably looking at Poor Things like, what in God's name is this movie? And that's what usually happens too. Amanda wanted Portman to win for Jackie over Emma, didn't she? 120,000%. Natalie Portman deserved to win that Oscar over Emma Stone. I am sorry. Okay? Jackie was phenomenal. Like, it is a fantastic performance. All right? And I agree with that. So if you guys are excited for the Oscars, these are my early predictions. I talked to you guys for an hour about each of the categories, and I'm probably going to do another video later on about my actual predictions that I'm going to lock in. I have a lot to watch. You guys have a lot to watch. Okay, so make sure to follow me on Twitter at AMXNDA Reviews, on Instagram. You can check out my website, candidxcinema.com, where all my reviews will be up. I have them in the links below. You can catch me here at Candid Cinema on the channel. I thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight for an hour. I really appreciate you guys sitting here and just breaking it down with me and filling the comments. I really am appreciative, and I may be doing more live streams on Tuesday nights. Who knows? I may change up some stuff because this is really fun. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I see you in the comments. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. And, keep watching movies, guys. We have a long list. We have a long list of recommendations. And just keep it locked here until the Oscars. Bye, guys. Have a good night.